Welcome you Rattler fans back into Bill Gree Arena for Game 2 of our Saturday afternoon doubleheader. This one is between your St. Mary's Rattlers and the Oklahoma Panhandle State University Aggies. David Tovar here with you early on. Rattlers 9-1, looking to improve on already a stellar record. That jumper is good by OPSU. Oklahoma Panhandle State coming in with not too shiny of a record. They are 4-9 and 0-2 in conference play. They look to improve as early a foul is called. Kevin Kotzer drawing that one. That three-pointer by OPSU was from Tavian Roseman. And quickly the Aggies take a 3-0 lead. Isaiah Matthews down low, able to draw the foul here. And he'll find himself at the line for two. Gets 1 of 2 to go. And the Rattlers now trail by 2. 5 on the floor for the Rattlers. Same as the 5 we saw on Thursday night. It's Bauer, Sanufu and Taylor, Matthews and Kotzer. Other two-pointer knocked down by OPSU. That's number 5, DeMar Hill. Now the Rattlers are going to try to get something going on offense. Kotzer swings it over right side to Bauer. Here's Daryl Taylor. Using the glass, no good. Bats it out. Stays with St. Mary's. Now Sandufu down low. Here's Matthews. Over to Bauer. Swung over. Sandufu for 3. No good. Kotzer offensive board. And he gets that to go. Kevin Kotzer on the board early. That's his second point. That's his first points of the game. Bauer's forced an early turnover here. And it'll be possession for St. Mary's. Kevin Kotzer on Thursday night had 3 blocks, good enough to put him at 89 for his Rattler career. That ties the leader in program history, and today, with 1 more block, he can break that record. First of many I'm sure he'll break. We'll keep a lookout for that as this game continues. Here's Sandufu all the way in. Nice move. The up and under, and he gets that to go quickly. OPSU in transition. Foul drawn there. The putback dunk. That's no good. 5-5 the score. Serves as an emphatic introduction for these Aggies. An athletic bunch here to begin. First free throw is no good. That's number 11, TJ Farrell at the line. Second free throw for him is good. And that gives the Aggies a 1-point lead. 6-5 the score. Here's Kotzer. Nice pass and another nice backdoor move there by Mo Sandufu. He gets that layup to go. He is off to a fast start, 4 points. Always important for Sandufu to get off to an early start. As the Rattlers there, good defense. That shot is off the mark, and now Bauer controlling. Sandufu with 4 points here early. Now Daryl Taylor. You know he can get it going in spurts, and he's got that one to go. And using the glass again, that one goes in. Rattlers have started well. 6 points combined for Taylor and Sandufu, and that jumper is good. That's Tavian Roseman, 5 points for him early on, and OPSU has cut this 1. Taylor spots up and gets that to go. Nice dish there from Christian Bauer. Rattlers have began shooting the ball very well. They're 4 of 6, OPSU 3 of 4. Really going, really trying to match each other, I suppose. Nice move, crafty. Hook shot, no good. StMU comes down with it. There's Roseman again, trying to get the putback dunk. To no avail. 3-point lead. Here's Darrell Taylor. Trying to use a little bit of a shake. Using the shoulders, down low. Kotzer, now Bauer, back down low to Kotzer. He had better positioning. Here's Matthews, comes up with it. Able to get a loose ball and finish it off. Isaiah Matthews, his first bucket of the game. And he gives his Rattlers a 5-point lead. Here come the Aggies. Chris Randolph controlling. StMU almost got that steal. Wide open in the corner. That 3 off the mark for TJ Farrell. Offensive board for the Aggies. Here's Randolph for 3 again. No good. Off the hands of Farrell. And we'll have our first timeout on the floor. Stay with us, Rattler fans. More upcoming. 5-point lead for your Rattlers live on Ustream. Welcome back, Rattler fans. 15:35 remaining in the first half. Rattlers in possession and with a 5-point lead. Hubneck in for Isaiah Matthews and Alexander in for Kevin Kotzer. They join Taylor, StMU, and Bauer. The guards have gotten off to a nice start here against OPSU. Left side, Mo StMU, and he is fouled. Rattlers will take it out from the sideline. As we mentioned, Rattlers come in with a 9-1 record. Their only loss coming to the number 2 ranked Washburn at the time. They lost by 4 points. So definitely some talk about them being ranked and a team that definitely deserves to be ranked. Here's StMU inside. That shot no good. Ball goes out of play and it will be OPSU possession. Now joined by our very own Chad Peters, our sports information guru. Chad, this team 9-1, some heavy talks of ranking and definitely a team that deserves to be considered.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it goes right in line with what their season goals are. We've talked about during the women's game. These guys not only want to host the Heartland Conference tournament, but I think the regional tournament as well. They got a taste of the regionals last year going up to Wichita Falls. And I have a feeling they believe that there's no reason they shouldn't be hosting it this year. And you see with that 9-1 record, they're a talented bunch.
They really have to hold off. An early search from OPSU. They hold them off there. They force a shot clock violation. And that is the second turnover by OPSU here in the early going. They trail by 5. And Chad, really this team, their ceiling, in many people's eyes, is past contention of the Heartland Conference. People have them pegged as the favorite in the Heartland Conference, and people already have them ready to be back in the regional.
Yeah, it's the way the team's built. You know, you got those three pillars, the seniors, one of them shooting from three right there.
StMU
almost gets it to rattle in. Oh, Justin Alexander goes down. You got to hope he's okay. It looks like he is.
Oh.
One of those scary falls there where you could easily twist an elbow, dislocate something. But he gets up, he pops right back up. But yeah, DT, Moses, and Kevin Kotz are kind of the pillars of the team. But you also have that senior leadership out of Brad Hubenak, who's on the court, John Roberts, and Roberto Soto. 6 seniors that are holding up this program and serving as kind of as a model. Although they do turn it over there.
Hubenak not able to hold on to that one. Bobbled and dropped. 5-point lead still for St. Mary's. And we were talking about this in the women's broadcast, Chad. And we were talking about the team last year that got all the way to the regional. You could argue that this team is better. And Chad, you so convincingly stated as that one goes in, counted, and the foul. Bill Lee will go to the line. With the courage of your convictions, this team is better than the team from last year, and well, I would have to agree.
Well, I think a lot of it, I mean, just look at the record of the team. 9-1, and who they've beaten, the number 14 ranked team in the country. They barely lost to the number 2 team in the country. I think this is a team with a much better mindset focus than a year ago. I think last year's team was kind of learning how to grow, how to become a team that's targeted, and this year's team accepts it with open arms. Talking to Kevin Kotzer after the game the other night, I mean, these guys want the bullseye.
And indeed, and they'll definitely have the X on their back for the remainder of this season, or at least the early part of it, as they get down the stretch in conference play. 13-11 the score, 13:30 remaining. Retta Wilson checks in for Mosandufu. Now Bauer in possession, driving, dishes. Taylor operate traveling. Looks like the legs just a little faster than the mind in that sequence. Oh, PSU bringing it up. Christopher Capino. Over to Farrell. Now Randolph, Farrell right side. Deflected by Taylor. It'll stay with the Aggies. Wholesale substitution upcoming here for OPSU. Inbound upcoming. Capino finds Randolph. Ball swung around. Bauer defending. Oh, and Alexander with a rejection. Here's Hubenak, able to get that up court. Taylor stopping. Thinking about popping that three. Bauer now, and Rowell's trying to get something going offensively here. Alexander posting, finds Bauer. Hubenak, top of the key. Now Taylor with a jumper. That's good. And Darrell Taylor finding the range, finding the stroke early on. Rattlers leaded by 4. There go the Rattlers with another turnover. That's 3 on OPSU early on. Fred Wilson left side working. Finds Alexander again posting. He's done a terrific job of that tonight. And a foul is called on OPSU. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one with them. Stay with us. More upcoming. Rattler basketball continues live on Ustream.
Welcome back. The Rattlers are up by 4 here with 11:50 left in the first half. A good tight game here as Fred Wilson pulls up, but it rims out. Leading scorer for St. Mary's in the early going is Darrell Taylor, who remains on the floor. The only starter, well, one of 2 starters still on the floor for St. Mary's. He had 6. And OPSU not hesitant to pull up from 3-point range, already firing up 5 from beyond the arc. This one from inside, no good. Joe Monroe pulls down the rebound. So the 5 on the floor for St. Mary's. Christian Bauer is your point. You got Joe Monroe and Justin Alexander down low. Darrell Taylor and Fred Wilson are your shooting guards. Justin with a nice pass underneath to Joe, but not able to connect. Justin goes back down to the floor for the second time. That's scary, Scott. Scott Fonger joining us now in the booth.
He spent a lot of time on the floor this game so far. Literally laying on the floor.
Yeah, when you see a 6'10", 6'11" body going down like that. That was Michael Patterson with the last basket for OPSU. Taylor pulls up from 3, no good. Rebound goes to OPSU. They're going to push the floor. It blows the layup. Patterson, no good. Now gets the rebound. A little bit of a fadeaway and then kind of a falling down just for added dramatics. Not sure that was necessary, but
just trying to get a little call.
And now it's all knotted up. So the Rattlers trying to kind of keep that lead with a lot of backups in the game. The starters are coming back now. Justin Alexander misses it all. Joe Monroe.
Great takeaway by DT.
Yeah, and a nice shot there by DT. So one of the only 2 starters on the floor doing his part to keep St. Mary's up right now. You do see all those guys along scorer's row. It's going to be a whole new lineup here momentarily.
And Coach Zelzak is not happy with watching them get an easy basket like that off a press. Immediately calling timeout.
And we'll take a quick break with them. We'll be right back. All tied up here with 9:43 left in the first half.
You're watching Rattlers Live on Ustream.
And we would like to wish Amber Palvido of the women's basketball team a very happy birthday this afternoon. As we in the booth enjoying some nice birthday cake and some celebratory Papa John's pizza following the women's basketball team's big win earlier today.
Yeah, a lot of reasons to celebrate if you're a Lady Rattler basketball fan. David Tovar back with you. A thank you to Scott Fonger holding down the fort. And I was just about to get comfortable with the stylings of Peters and Fonger, but all good things must come to an end. Rattlers are tied here with OPSU, and Kotzer, great defense here.
Yeah, Aggies trying to draw the foul there, but Kotzer having none of it, kept his arms straight up in the air, forced a bad shot. And it is a new lineup on the floor. Mark Simmons pulling up from 3, good, down in the corner. Simmons, a spark plug off the bench. Dave, we were talking kind of during the women's game about him a little bit. Is that 3 no good? He's got some moves off the bench, very athletic.
And it's a luxury to have him on the bench. He's really, and right now he's playing shooting guard. He's de facto point guard because of his height and playing behind Bauer. But, really, Mark Simmons, as I said, he has a lot of moves, a lot of in his offensive repertoire. He's an underrated passer, but he can definitely shoot, as he showed it here, and gets all the way to the lane. Look at that.
And a teardrop.
Count it. 5 quick off the bench for Mark Simmons. He has been terrific and really a guy you're going to need going forward here as Heartland Conference play.
Whoa, and a major foul. This is probably going to be a technical here, David. We'll see what is called there, but Patterson just pushed Simmons to the floor. Simmons probably doing something to get under his skin with the defense. A foul called. Not sure if anything else has been called on that one. but a two-handed shove just went into Simmons' chest and pushed him 3 feet backward.
Hey, you might need this, the replay booth. That's exactly where one Scott Fonger's headed.
Yeah, they'll take a look at that. I think the film will show that that was a technical all the way.
Let the record show. I mean,
I was watching it just because having seen, following Simmons back from the offensive end, and
I was checking out the scoreboard and see how much Simmons has. He has 5, as I mentioned, and we're going to an official review here.
But yeah, Simmons, like you said, kind of by nature a shooting guard, but has good enough passing skills, vision to play the point. There's no question, I think Bauer probably more efficient and proficient in leading the offense. But Simmons has a very valuable role. It's fireworks going off in the booth here.
Fireworks like when Simmons went down, but
Simmons, he can shoot, he can dribble, and if you've checked out any of Tony Morano's photos, they're on Facebook, they're on our website, rattlerathletics.com. You can also purchase his photos at moranomemories.photoreflect.com. You kind of see in still capture mode what Simmons brings to the offense, and he has some moves. I mean, the way he takes the ball to the hoop, kind of like a running back a little bit sometimes, and just a fun player to watch coming off the bench.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be an asset the Rattlers will definitely use, and you can count on some Simmons offense on a night where StMU might struggle, or Darrell Taylor might not have the shot going, on Fred Wilson isn't knocking down a couple 3 balls. Simmons definitely an asset there, and he's a point guard by height, but definitely has all the ability of a 2 guard and a scoring guard. And well, here I think they're going to try to get the play call situated. 5-point lead for the St. Mary's Rattlers. And I think you're right, Chad. We'll have ourselves a technical foul as Mark Simmons will go to the line, and he will be shooting 2. A flagrant 1 has been called. Unnecessary, very nice contact here, and Chad, he diagnosed that one. Mike Pereira should watch his job over in Los Angeles. That shot is good. 23-17.
The other good thing about Simmons, a very good free throw shooter. Hopefully I didn't give him the jinx, and I did.
May have.
Yeah. I apologize to the Simmons family if they were watching for jinxing him on that one.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'll get it right back. 6 points off the bench early on, and he's had 6 in about a minute. Yeah, I want to tell you. And that's good enough to take the Rattlers up 6, 23-17. Bauer, Simmons, Sandufu, Matthews, and Kotzer.
Yeah, it was a tie ball game when he came in. He's been a one-man run here.
Here's Simmons again. Good dish. A little bit too much traffic there. All the way. And, an athletic layup there. That's 21, Bill Lee. 5 for him tonight, and he brings his Aggies within 4.
That's been the Aggies' game so far, trying to kind of get fast break opportunities.
Bauer for 3. Gets that to go. Now we talk about Simmons and Bauer. Bauer, an underrated scorer as well. And he gives his Rattlers a 7-point lead as we go into break. Stay with us, more coming. Rattlers live on Ustream. Welcome back, Rattler fans. A 7-point lead for your St. Mary's Rattlers. 26-19 the score. David Tovar bringing you the action live inside Bill Greer Arena. Oh, and a good rejection there, a foul. some contact. And that will put Travian Roseman at the line. As we take another timeout here. Stay with us, more upcoming. Rattlers basketball continues live on Ustream.
Watching Rattlers live on Ustream.
Welcome back, Rattler fans. Special treat, Mr. Scott Fonger back in the booth.
I'm always so hyped up when I come in.
Always happy to see some Rattler basketball indeed. And that first free throw is good for Tavion Roseman. Scott, I'd love to get your analysis for Monday's national championship game in the BCS. I'll try to get that before you go. As both free throws are good, and OPSU now down 5. Bauer, Sandufu, Simmons, Matthews, and Kotzer. 5 on the floor for the Rattlers. We were talking about before the break about Simmons. He's terrific. You called him a stud as Sandufu gets one to go there. But Simmons, really impressive player. He's a point guard by height, but really can score. As you saw, 6 points. 6 straight points from him.
Yeah, he has a great ability to get in the lane and disrupt things for opposing defenses. You saw there, he got OPSU a little frustrated. Next time down the court, he gets pushed and ends up shooting on a flagrant one. And it's frustrating because he can make it look very easy against you. And nobody likes being shown up.
Kotzer there on the floor. Here's Simmons again. The 3, no good. Offensive board with one hand almost, and there is Kotzer. Gets that to go. Impressive. He could play tight end.
That was an impressive bring down. I was a little taken aback by that. One-handed rebound, kind of went right back up with it.
And an offensive foul. Kevin Kotzer rallying up the crowd here when he has that game face on. Boy, he's hard to stop.
Well, you just get the sense that, OPSU has made their run. It's kind of crazy to say this early in the game, but you can tell by their level of frustration that things have kind of changed. The momentum has shifted. Bryce Smith in the game. That's always a pretty good sign that things are in control.
So now Bryce in the backcourt with Mark Simmons. Now Kotzer. OPSU has nobody Kotzer's size. I mean, look at this. Yeah. That's going to be all day.
All day.
For Kevin Kotzer. And Jared Messer, a 6'5" guard, trying his best against Kevin Kotzer. I don't like the chances for Mr. Messer. And nice dish, not able to finish.
Yep.
Got to put that one away if you're OPSU. Now Bryce Smith running the point here. Stops, finds Matthews. Down low. Matthews not able to hold on to this one, then trips. Aggies with possession.
Now Isaiah's just got to learn, get that ball up high, keep it out of the reach. I mean, realistically, Isaiah is as big as anybody on OPSU's team. Don't bring it low where you can allow them to grab it.
Simmons shot no good, and Coach Z not happy. Going to look
that was
into his bench.
He does not like quick turnarounds like that, and that is why right there.
Speaking of a turnaround, quick turnaround there. That shot is good for 3. That's from Chris Randolph. And Randolph, that's his first bucket of the game.
I see a few changes coming in here. Looks like you've got Justin Alexander. Can't tell if that's DT. He's covering his number.
Daryl Taylor and
Fred Wilson ready to come in. Great move by Sandufu. Easy dunk.
And that is a throw down there by Kevin Kotzer, OPSU. Heard a whistle. I don't know if it was a timeout. No, it's not.
I think it was maybe an OPSU substitution. I'm not exactly sure what took place there.
St. Mary's will use it, and they'll bring in Taylor Wilson and Alexander to join Matthews and Bryce Smith. Again, Scott, the Aggies come in with a 4-9 record. They are 0-2 in conference play. And definitely something the Rattlers should not get used to playing. They're going to have to play a lot of quality opponents upcoming. Newman, who is ranked, will be coming up in the schedule soon. That three is launched off the mark, no good.
You know, they're about to get into the heart of their conference schedule, but you know, you did already play Texas A&M International, kind of ran up the score against them. You beat PB a couple nights ago. So they're really putting themselves in a great position going forward. You know, right now their only loss is to a team that was number 2 in the country when they played them. They lost by 4. Since then, they've beaten the number 14th ranked team in the country. Bryce Smith for a 3.
That's good.
Money.
And the Rattlers up 13. Another 3 launched quickly. That's good. Answering right back is TJ Farrell. And a little jaw jacking as he hustles back on defense.
You shouldn't talk too much. Scoreboard says a lot more than you ever could.
Very true. And maybe wait till the scores in single figures. Nonetheless, Rattlers in possession. Wilson using the screen all the way. Drops it off. Bryce Smith again. Let's see if he presses his block. That's good. Bryce Smith getting it going. Yeah, 6 straight. And a foul here. That's on Wilson. That'll stop the clock, and that'll send us to our media timeout. 3 straight threes. 2 going the Rattlers' way, and that puts St. Mary's up 13. We'll see you on the other side of this break. Stay with us. More upcoming. Rattlers basketball live on Ustream.
I'm sorry. I've never seen the guy really dunk live.
Watching Rattlers live on Ustream.
Welcome back, Rattler fans. 2:51 remaining in half number 1. Rattlers up by 13 on Oklahoma Panhandle State University. David Tovar, Scott Fonger joining me. And Scott, we've, at least myself, been very impressed with this Rattler team, both offensively and defensively.
You know, and that's, I think the kind of,
I'm not sure why they're wrapping them up.
I think the thing that is really impressive about this team is that they actually seem to be getting better with every game. They're getting a little more in sync with each other. They're really knowing what they're doing. Kevin is always going to be Kevin. Kevin's your 2020. You know, it's what you do around him. And the supporting cast this year has been phenomenal. Daryl Taylor is outstanding. Sandufu has been amazing. Isaiah's really come into his own, though there's a lot Isaiah can still improve on. having Justin Alexander have another big in there, you don't really feel like there's a massive drop-off like there has been in previous years when Kevin would step out. It seems like just across the board, every single player has improved. Heck, we even saw Rob Soto score some points earlier this year.
Earlier this year, and then Bryce Smith had the line. He has 8 points here in this first half, including 2 3-pointers. And no look now.
Bryce Smith may have a career night tonight.
He indeed may have. And no look now, Kevin Kotzer, 8.6 rebounds only in this first half.
Well, he told me after the last game that we were joking that he didn't break the rebounds record. He said he still has some more games to do that. He told me he'd take over the third place spot tonight. Have to check on where he is all time at this point, but.
And speaking of all-time records, he has broken. As there is Alexander. Nifty move, and Kotzer has broken the all-time blocks record in program history. He has 90. That was done earlier, and that shot is no good. Now, as you mentioned, Scott, looks like the Aggies have made their run. They've had their fun, and now the Rattlers are going to put their foot to the pedal, and that shot no good.
And you just look at the spacing. I mean, you had one person shooting a 3 and nobody back behind the rim for the Aggies. You had 2 out on the perimeter. You know, you got to bring down the ball. You know, it's an easy offensive rebound.
And nobody the height of Alexander.
No.
That's easy.
No, that's...
Looking at this roster for Oklahoma Panhandle State, they only have one player at 6'7". And Isaiah Matthews is at 6'7". This shot, no good. And there's Matthews rebounding this one. Alexander at 6'10". He's a matchup nightmare. And let's not even start with Kevin Kotzer.
No, you know, and the thing about Justin Alexander is not just his height, it's that he actually is very athletic as well. He's quicker than he seems. He can really get around in the low post very well. He's going to be a really dangerous threat, you know, after Kevin leaves and when he becomes the man, so to speak. The question is, can anybody step up and fill the leadership void that Kevin presents?
And it's going to be fun to see them down the stretch of Heartland Conference play. I'm very sure you'll see games down the stretch with Kotzer and Alexander as the bigs out there for Coach Z.
Which, you know, is something that they've never really had the opportunity to do before. And you saw us, it really hurt us last year in the regional against Midwestern State where, you know, the entire team is 6'5", you know, 6'4", 6'5", very quick, very athletic. But when Kotzer was in there, he was a beast and, you know, was really able to do whatever he wanted. But they would have to give him some rest sometime. And, you know, the physical play really took its toll on the rest of the guys throughout. If you had somebody, say Justin Alexander or Isaiah really stepping up and being, you know, a nice big down low, when Kotzer goes out, now you've got an opportunity for these other guys to step up, get a few points, kind of keep the offense flowing while Kotzer gets his rest.
Under 5 seconds, here's Hubenak.
Great pass into Hubenak.
And that will take us into the half. The St. Mary's Rattlers open up a 21-point lead here on Oklahoma Panhandle State. Stay tuned, more upcoming. You're watching all the action live on Ustream. Welcome back, Rattler fans. Half number 2 between the St. Mary's Rattlers and the Oklahoma Panhandle State University Aggies is underway. Rattlers up 21. Some impressive performances. I think most notably, Scott, Bryce Smith off the bench, 8 points.
2 3-pointers, 2 free throws. Career night for Bryce.
And it's just begun as the jumper is good. That's from Bill Lee. And he has played pretty well for OPSU. He has 7. Kevin Kotzer, 8.6 rebounds and has taken over as the block leader in program history. Darryl Taylor gets a deuce to go. And just like that, the Aggies and Rattlers begin by trading baskets. Still a 21-point lead for St. Mary's. Good defense played here by St. Mary's. Now Bauer with it. On the run, has Taylor to his right, drops it off. He is rejected. That's a LeBron chase down. And Kotzer right back there to scoop up the loose ball and gets that to go. Kevin Kotzer in double digits with 10.
Now, people often forget that Kevin Kotzer's biggest talent at times is being the garbage man. He's down low. He catches rebounds. He's got some of the softest hands in college basketball for putting back, for putbacks. He's there for you when you miss that type of shot.
That three is launched, no good. Sandufu with the rebound. And, well, Scott, furthermore, I think he serves as a garbage man at times, and it's really due to the great hands he has. I mean, we saw him snatch down a rebound with one arm earlier in the first half, almost like a tight end.
Yeah, some of the coaches have taught to me before, it's, if Kevin were an inch or two taller, he probably wouldn't be here. He'd probably already be in the NBA because of just how good his hands are down low.
He's very crafty and he's talented.
And it's not only that, he understands his position. He understands where to place his body so that he is in the best possible position. He's always seems to be in the right spot for those rebounds. It's almost like it's a joke how easy it comes to him at times, but I mean, that's just the way it is with him.
And I don't think it gets much easier than this height-wise, as OPSU not exactly the tallest team. And the Rattlers have seen their tallest player, 6'7". He's guarding Kotzer right now. A lot of contact there. Taylor's shot, no good.
Taylor's trying to draw a little bit more, force the shot up.
Right
Made
there.
up for it right there, though.
Able to force that turnover right there. Quick hands by Taylor. And that gets the Rattlers the possession. 22-point lead. And, well, I guess I'll ask you point blank. Do you expect to see a Soto sighting?
We might.
Saw Bryce Smith.
We did see Bryce Smith earlier than normal. Kevin overplays that pass just a little bit. A good idea, good backdoor cut. Little too heavy on the bounce.
Romo-esque pass.
Well, OPSU ended up with it, so yeah.
Here comes another three. That is launched. Count it, and the foul.
Yeah.
A 4-point play upcoming.
Yeah, Moses got caught gambling a little bit, went for the steal. You go for the steal sometimes, you're leaving your guy so far open, you're going to run that risk. He tried to compensate, get back, and that's where the foul came.
It's a cardinal rule. You don't foul the jump shooter, and Sandufu finds himself on the bench for that. Fred Wilson checks in.
Well, he's been gambling a lot of the game. We saw a little bit of this Thursday night against Permian Basin, where he's taking some risks, and some of them are working out, some of them aren't, unfortunately. And that's the second time today where we've seen him leave his man wide open for an open jumper with, nobody within 10 feet of him open. And, this time the guy hit the shot, got burned.
And he completes the 4-point play. That brings OPSU within 18. Kotzer contorting and getting that one to fall.
There's a reason why he's nicknamed All Day.
All day indeed. Here's another three. OPSU trying to shoot their way back into this one. Loose ball.
Yep.
That's out of bounds. It'll stay with St. Mary's.
Yeah. He's in there with he's in the hospitality suite. Oh.
20-point lead here for St. Mary's, 56-36. Rattlers trying to swing it around, trying to get something going on offense. Here's Matthews posting down low. That hook shot, no good. And really what you want to see from Matthews, you kind of want to see his repertoire expand offensively.
He's so athletic, so incredibly athletic. You know,
whoa. The shot falls, won't count, but tangled is Kevin Kotzer. Somebody got tangled with Kevin. That's Bill Lee. Whoa. Technical foul, and that will go on Tavion Roseman. I don't know if you saw that, Scott.
I did see that.
Yeah, Kotzer had a word with him, and Roseman seems they got a little bit of a shove on him.
Well, what's happening here is OPSU is finding themselves frustrated. I mean, ultimately, that's what it comes down to. They're finding themselves in a position that they don't like. I mean, being down 20 is certainly not a position anybody wants to be in as a basketball player. And they're pretty much getting burned left and right. It is a frustrating situation. You know, maybe Kevin didn't have to say anything. I think, he didn't like the way he went down there. He comes back, he says a word as he's walking by, but you got to control yourself. You got to not, kind of take that bait and push him and get the technical.
Yeah, that won't help any matters for OPSU. They are trail by 20, as you mentioned. And I think it's just frustration. He's getting worked over by Kotzer. He should join the list. I mean, Kotzer's done that to, it's not exclusive. He's done that to a lot of players. And this OPSU team just not reacting.
There's a reason why Kevin Kotzer is a preseason All-American, why he's breaking all of St. Mary's records. And St. Mary's had players in the NBA. I mean, it's not like we're talking about a new program. It's a program that's won a national championship. It's a program that's put players in the NBA. For Kevin Kotzer to come in over 4 years, break numerous records. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what happened here. It seems like they teed him up. It should be
Rattler ball. But
instead, they changed the call to Kevin Kotzer's foul.
Maybe a double technical.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on here.
Yeah, the referees are going to have to regroup. They're going to go to the monitor.
So, excuse me.
All right, Rattler fans. We'll be right here as we'll await the call. Rattler fans, stay with us. More upcoming. We'll bring you the official call when we come back on Ustream.
So in an effort to boost morale and spirit on campus, we thought we'd implement batting rappers in the hall. Logged out, logged out, logged out. Have we taken this a little too far? Probably. You're watching Rattlers Live on U Street.
Welcome back, Rattler fans, and as we hear our PA announcer Russ Kubicek state, the technical foul will stand, but it'll be Aggie ball. Now, Scott, you were down there chit-chatting with some officials. Any kind of
No, they looked.
decision?
They walked away and said, "Let's talk." And that was about the extent of it. Really, there wasn't too much to see on the film. It just looked like frustration. I mean, exactly what we were saying before the break.
It's going to be a long second half, or what remains of it, for OPSU, as they have been struggling. They're trying to get something going offensively here. Down low. Kotzer again working.
That was good help defense by Isaiah there.
Hands up, active defense, and that's what's going to happen. A missed shot and a rebound right to Taylor. Now Bauer
Slowing it down, starting to keep tempo here. Trying to get this one back under control, play the way they want to play.
Here's Kotzer, top of the key, swung over, Fred Wilson. Taylor, now Bauer all the way. Hit a couple of jump shots, has Bauer. Kotzer, all four jerseys swarming on Kevin Kotzer, and he just gently and easily gets that one to go.
Quick note to Heartland Conference Sports Information Directors. This guy has never been the Heartland Conference Player of the Year. I do not understand how that is possible.
Indeed, and that's a topic we've had on our hit series, Talking to Rattlers, and we talked about that last season as the awards were about to come out. Fred Wilson knocked down there. And really, it really is mind-boggling how Kevin Kotzer, now you have more, you're more in tune with this, Scott. Is Kotzer the only All-American that the Heartland Conference had?
As far as the for this year, definitely the preseason All-American. Yeah, I mean absolutely. That term gets thrown around a lot. An All-American this, All-American that. A lot of people don't realize how exclusive that is. That is a huge, huge deal. And for us to, for us just to have one is tremendous. But to see him actually improve this year, a lot of lesser players wouldn't do that. They kind of rest on their laurels and, have a normal season. But
terrific dish.
That's what I'm talking about. He has worked so tremendously on his passing, his back doors. He knows against better teams, he's going to get pushed out to the high post. He's got to deliver. Last year against UT Permian Basin, he would move out to the high post and not really be able to do much with it. And he removed himself from the offense almost. Now he gets pushed outside of outside of his normal comfort zone. He can hit a slasher going through. He can find the open jump shot. Those are huge steps up for a player who is already an All-American.
And I think the coaching staff has done a terrific job here in his senior year, surrounding him with some terrific pieces. And it reminds me a lot of Dwight Howard in Orlando. They surrounded him with a bunch of shooters, and that's what you have in a DT and a Mo, Bauer, Simmons, and Wilson. Some shooters, guys who can really hit the three-pointer, and they can hit some outside shots to really complement Kotzer's inside game.
And, and Mo and DT have also, whereas last year they were more of step up, in-play shooters. you're seeing them do a lot more off the ball, slashing to the basket, going back door, finding other shots, and I think that improvement has been tremendous as well. And that's part of the reason why the team has really taken off this year relative to where they were last year.
Technical foul, and that's going against
Fred Wilson, it looks like.
And more jawing, and this has been maybe the most technicals we've seen at a Rattler game.
It's certainly headed that way.
So Wilson will come out, and John Roberts will check in.
I feel like the officials now are going to be very touchy. You know, they get a sense that something is going on in this game where
it's a brewing.
Yeah, something's brewing, and they understand that. They want to get it under control, so they're going to tee up at the first glimpse. I mean, if you look at somebody the wrong way right now, you're going to get a technical. And it's understandable. You don't want to see a brawl erupt out in a game like this.
Yeah, a game that's already, I mean, is it safe to call it yet? I mean,
I wouldn't say it's ever safe to call, you know, when you're talking about 13 minutes left in a game.
Especially college basketball.
Well, you know, we've seen stretches where teams don't hit, you know, can't hit a shot. A team like OPSU can get up and run. I mean, they're athletic. There's nothing to say that wouldn't happen. I'm sure that Coach Zelsnak would have something to say about that.
First free throw is good. That's for Christopher Capino. At the line, he'll see this second one. That rattle's no good. Daryl Taylor skying for this one. Well, it's got a busy weekend for sports fans. You have this game right here. Then you have the NFL wildcard weekend. Then Monday night, it's your Super Bowl, Scott.
It's absolutely true.
And I asked Chad, I mean, he seems to be our resident NFL guy, and you happen to be our resident college football guy. So this is a tough one. Full discretion, you're a fan of both teams.
I am a fan of both teams.
And you have your certain...
But my allegiance is with the Irish and has been since I was about 11. So we're going on, you know, almost 24 years of that.
As Coster gets another one. Tough jumper here. Good defense by Taylor. That's something that's underrated about Daryl Taylor as Bauer escapes all the way, lays it up and good. Defense creating offense here. And so hopefully the same can be said about your Irish. Maybe their defense will create some offense.
Certainly hope so. You know, Irish front seven is among the best, you know, in the country. And, you know, but Alabama is just so good. I mean, Alabama is a machine. They just replace parts. You know, they lose a Heisman running back, Heisman, you know, trophy-winning running back. They'll replace him with one who's arguably better. This year they got two 1,000-yard rushers. They've got a tremendous offensive line. And they're, you know, people really haven't been talking a ton about their defense this year, though their defense is phenomenal.
As Kotzer spins and shoots, and it really looks like they got a fire under Kotzer as he has been terrific this second half. He has 10 already. That three is good.
So in short, Monday night, I will be screaming for my Irish. I will be praying for my Irish. I just don't know if they've got the firepower to beat Alabama. And
are they 7-point underdogs or 10-point underdogs?
I don't know what the current line is. You know, I don't really.
I think it was a touchdown. I mean, and full discretion, I don't know how to read those lines either. I just know that they're underdogs as the #1 ranked team in the country.
And you don't see that happen very often, but I mean, in this instance, I'm not going to argue it. You know, I watched some of the later games from Alabama, and you know, of course, being a fan of both teams, I've watched as much of the season as I can for each, and as much as I love my Irish and how many times they've surprised me this season already, I'm not certain they've got it in them to really stick it to Alabama. But if they do, full disclosure, I will be enjoying it immensely.
Will you be calling it to work, I suppose,
I might.
on Tuesday?
I won't rule that out.
All right, Rattler fans, we'll take a break with them. 20-point lead for our Rattlers. Stay with us. More upcoming. Welcome back, Rattler fans. 11-10 remaining in the second half. We have now, Scott. I mean, you chose with your heart. How about your head? Your head's telling you Alabama, or
my head is telling me Alabama. My heart is rooting for Notre Dame.
Do you think, we were talking about this in the women's broadcast with Chad, he thinks it's great for college football to have the Irish back in a prominent role, and as another three is dropped, that's Chris Randolph. He's got a couple going here. 9 points for him. Do you think it's good for college football?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, when you have these traditional powerhouses, and it's not just Notre Dame, but Alabama being back. And people forget, because Alabama's been so good now for the last 4 years, that they were a mediocre team for the last 20 before that. Every once in a while, they were the Notre Dame before, at the same time Notre Dame was going through their doldrums. It takes a good coach to bring it back, but, we'd say the same thing. In basketball, the league is better when the New York Knicks are good.
And the Lakers.
And the Lakers. And the Celtics. Those traditional powerhouses that are more national teams than they are regional. Look, I love my Spurs, but I acknowledge that the teams that drive the league
are the Lakers,
the Celtics,
the Bulls,
the Bulls to a lesser extent.
Yeah.
But definitely the Knicks. I mean, Madison Garden is still considered the mecca of basketball. For baseball,
the Yankees.
The Yankees being good, the Dodgers being good. Those teams that people relate with, who are casual fans, not actual what we would consider hardcore baseball fans or hardcore football fans. All of that is a good thing. More people can relate. In college football, it's good that Notre Dame is back, and it brings a little bit more, brings a little more excitement, a little more energy.
Well, I have you here, our resident college football expert, Chip Kelly. You think he can relate to the pros?
I don't. I really don't. I like Chip Kelly, but it's one thing to walk into an NFL locker room and say, you're going to listen to me, I've won championships, I know how it's done. And even then, a lot of times, that's not enough. It is so different from college to pros, even from a coaching perspective, that, it's not really fair to think you can do one or you can do the other because you're very good at one. I mean, ultimately, Chip Kelly, I love what he's done at Oregon, but really he's taught us that football teams can put up basketball team scores, but he hasn't won a championship. He really hasn't taken his team to the promised land, so to speak. I think what's interesting is that you're seeing Bill O'Brien get a lot of looks at returning to the NFL.
Traveling violation, a lot of contact there.
It's kind of hard to jump when you got two guys hanging on your arm, but hey.
Now, while we've been chit-chatting here, the Rattler lead is down to 16 as we are under the midway point here of the second half. Simmons, Bauer, Sandufu, Hubneck, and Alexander, the 5 on the floor for St. Mary's. Here come the Aggies trying to make a run. Or their second run of the game.
Shot clock starting to wind down. They'll have to make a decision pretty quickly here.
And here it is, the 3. Ooh, rattles out. Big break here for St. Mary's.
I think that's what you want. I mean, you don't want somebody standing there waiting for the open 3. You want them to have to take it, off the dribble and shoot a 3. You get that type of possession, that's actually not bad for us.
Great look there from Bauer, and Alexander gets that to go. And you saw there Hubneck burning through one of the Aggies. Timeout on the floor. As I was just about to say, this game, as we've mentioned earlier, could get a little chippy. Stick with us. 18-point lead for St. Mary's. More upcoming. Rattlers Ustream Live.
So in an effort to boost morale and spirit on campus, we thought we'd implement Battery Rattlers into the hall.
Locked out, locked out, locked out.
Have we taken this a little too far? Probably.
Why that came on?
Welcome back, Rattler fans. An 18-point lead for your St. Mary's Rattlers. They're taking on OPSU. David Tovar, Scott Fong with me. And, well, Scott, as we have about 8 minutes remaining, it's been a real treat having you on the booth. And fans, this is all rare. It's, not even in the contract. We're getting him kind of a gentleman's handshake agreement. We have him doing some of the color, and I was telling him during the break, channeling his inner Chris Collinsworth.
I would never go so far as to put myself even channeling that of a professional.
Or your favorite.
Oh, great pass from Alexander.
Hubnak. Terrific. That backdoor has been working all game long for St. Mary's, and OPSU has not had an answer. And the impressive thing is it's been the bigs working that backdoor passing.
Well, that's right. You know, what OPSU is trying to do is they're trying to compensate for their size by pushing the bigs out of the block.
Oh.
And when that happens, you're always going to get that. You're going to get that open back door, and you know, so you've got that trailing, you know, two guard coming around behind. If you're a big, you just got to look for it. It'll be there.
Timeout on the floor after an offensive foul is called on Mark Simmons. Stay with us. More upcoming. Rattlers Ustream Live.
You're watching Rattlers Live on Ustream.
Welcome back, Rattler fans. 7:27 remaining. David Tovar, Scott Fonger, and Scott, moving on, same still here with basketball, but the Lady Rattlers, they won huge against OPSU. They won, I believe, by 21. And our opening game of this Saturday afternoon doubleheader, this three is launched no good. Lady Rattlers on a roll, and they've been playing terrific. A talented bunch.
Very talented bunch. In fact, I talked with Coach Martins after the game briefly, and he said, you know, when it comes down to it, he may have already played the top two teams in the conference with playing against Texas A&M International and University of Texas at Permian Basin, and he's held 20-point leads on both. He said, I'm really starting to understand how good of a team I've got. He often calls them probably the most explosive team he's had offensively in his time here. And you can certainly see their ability to rack up points. Though I was calling for them to put up 100 today and didn't get it.
They got to 81, close enough. That three is launched, no good. Back-to-back misses.
And you see what OPSU's strategy here is now. They're just going to come down the court and jack it up and hope that it falls. You're down by 17 with 6 minutes left. The big dogs are coming back in, it looks like, so for St. Mary's. And right there, missed layup, but it was there. It was,
good seal out there by Alexander.
Yeah, and a great pass from Hubenak up at the top of the key.
Talking about the big man passing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's something that apparently, probably Coach Lorenzo Anthony, who works heavily with the bigs, is working on them with. Just getting them out there, teaching them how to use what positions they have on the court to better the team.
Here's Bauer all the way.
Great move by Bauer.
Count it and the foul. Christian Bauer will find himself at the line with a chance to add one more. Now back to the ladies. They've played terrific, really an infusion of new talent. The returning Woods, Boyd, and Jacobs, but Aaliyah Kiowa, Desi Elias, Mariah Lee, just terrific additions to this Rattler team.
Have you ever seen anybody play as hard as Leah Kiowa does?
Oh, she is terrific. And at her size, she has handles, and she has great court vision. She, at times, drops these passes that are just terrific for a player her size.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you got Desi's eyes. You've got Leah's intensity. Every time she's out on the court, she's giving over 100%. It doesn't matter if they're up by 20 or if they're down by 2. She's going to be diving for loose balls. She's going to be disrupting passing lanes. She's doing anything she can to get, to really improve the team when she's out there. And, this year you still got Felicia Jacobs, who is probably one of the best lockdown defenders in the Heartland Conference. You've seen kind of what they can do over the course of these first few games. They still have their streakiness. I mean, they're a young team still. I mean,
they're still trying to mesh.
They're still trying to mesh, but they're getting better. And every once in a while, they have a loss that you look at and you just say, how did that happen? I mean, the Central University loss the other day, where you sit there and you go, how do we lose that? And you talk to the players, and they don't really know how they lost it. So you still have a little bit of that in there, a little inconsistency, but boy, they are getting better and better, though.
Kotzer here wraps up the three-point play. 23 for Kevin Kotzer on the night. Not sure about his rebounding totals, but I'm gonna guess
we've lost live stats, but I'm gonna guess it is probably
over 10.
Over 10.
That's way off the mark. And well, one more thing going around St. Mary's athletics: the baseball team, their national ranking coming out, preseason #1 in the polls.
Well, sports information coordinator Chad Peters and I were talking about that prior to the game. It's understandable. They lost a couple of big players in losing MP Kokonos, who was drafted by the Houston Astros, and losing Tyler Meagle, who was really kind of one of those just tremendous leaders on the team. So they lost a couple off the bats, but you're returning 2 All-American pitchers, including the pitcher of the year for Division II last year in Carl O'Neill. You added more pitching. You still have, you didn't lose anybody. You've got the best closer in the country. As Coach Meagle often jokes, Ermis's pitching, all he's got to do is find a way to get 1 or 2 runs, and he's going to win the game. Unfortunately, those 1 or 2 runs can be hard to come by sometimes.
That kicks the first pitch, February the 1st. We'll have that right here on Rattlers Ustream Live. Your Rattlers right here on the basketball court are up 18. Stay with us, more upcoming live on Ustream. Welcome back, Rattler fans, and well, Scott, you've made it through maybe a broadcast and a half. We're in the home stretch.
We are getting down there, aren't we? I don't think I've ever stayed on for a full half. I think I've stayed on for between a couple of media timeouts, but I've never for a full half.
And it's been a joy, and you can share that with our very own Scott Fonger on Twitter at St. Mary's Rattlers. Also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers, and of course all the latest info, rattlerathletics.com. Kevin Kotzer at the line. First free throw.
A rare miss.
Rattles no good. The 18-point lead for the St. Mary's Rattlers. Capina dribbling. Working against Kotzer.
Yeah, you're not going to get... If Kotzer's got you pushed out that far, don't even bother.
Oh, almost jumping over Kotzer to get that one. Did Tavian Rosemont. Him and Kotzer had a little bit of a scuffle early in the second half. Here's Kotzer working down low. They got 3 jerseys on him.
Kotzer in the high post. There's the back door. Every time it's going to be there.
And it has worked for the St. Mary's Rattlers. And that pushes them up 20. Under 3 minutes here in the second half. Looking ahead in the schedule, the Rattlers will visit Arkansas Fort Smith, and they'll be over in Wichita, Kansas until they return on the 17th to take on St. Edwards, I believe.
That sounds right.
Gonna flip through the handy-dandy schedule. Yeah, it's Thursday the 17th, and students return on the 15th, so be a terrific game to come out to.
It should be an energetic game. Maybe some of the student organizations can put together a nice tailgate and we'll have some fun.
Here's Bauer. Flips one over. Offensive board. He's going to bring it out.
Reset it and let's do it again.
As Bauer's going to dribble this into the 2-minute warning.
You just get the sense that right now they've got this game. They know they've got it under control. Now this is becoming a glorified practice session.
Going to try to run some plays. Here's Taylor off balance.
A one-handed putback by Kevin Kotzer.
And that's just how the night has been for Kevin and for OPSU. 25, on the night for Kevin Kotzer.
He's just making it look easy out there.
Much to the dismay of OPSU, that 3 is launched. No good. It's a long drive back to... I'm going to assume it's in the Panhandle.
It is in the Panhandle of Oklahoma. It is a long way away.
Another timeout. We'll stay right here with you.
And we are going to have a Rob Soto sighting.
Yes. Well, our prediction is true. Soto about to come in. One would assume Bryce Smith is also going to get in. As he had a nice little first half for himself.
He had a great first half. Came in for a couple of minutes. I think he had 8 points, a steal, a rebound. And we have Roberto Soto on the court. Always a fun experience when we get to see Rob play.
Hard-working player. Here's Matthews, loses the dribble. Now Sandufu. Bauer going to hold this up, and we approach the minute mark. Here's Sandufu. Dribbles, stops. Going to pop.
We should mention that we're getting a call from ESPN.
Yeah, I think our former colleague's excited that Rob Soto is on. Oh, a special hello, a howdy from Texas to Bristol as the Ivory Tower has been subbed out, and here comes Rob Soto. Sanufu with the rebound. Not able to take the call on air, big fellow, but nonetheless, we share your sentiments. 20-point lead as Bauer's going to dribble this one out. And, well, I'm sure our former colleague, Raul Tovar, wants to see Soto with a possession, and it might just happen right here. Sets the screen, has to roll. Here's Matthews over to Soto. Here it is. There it is. And there it is. There it is. That's a huge layup right there. Rob Soto off of Isaiah Matthews.
And a rebound to go with it.
There
Look
he
at
is.
that. He's just
2 and 1.
He is padding his stats tonight.
Here he goes. He's going to try it. He's going to launch it from 3. That's a little too much to ask for. Nonetheless, you got to like that. You got to like that aggressive mindset. And the Rattlers here are in celebration mode here.
I think he thought that there was a lot less time on the clock than there actually was when he took that.
For his sake, I would hope so. That's going to count.
Yep, they're going to count it.
That's just the formality
That's
here.
going to wrap that one up.
Well, Mr. Scott Fonger, I thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely.
It was a blast. It definitely was a fun one. Rattlers win by 20 for Robin Johnson down there doing the stats. Holding host with the camera. Chad Peters running around. And congratulations to Chad Peters.
Papa Chad.
Chatty. Daddy Chad. For Scott Fonger and myself, David Tovar, to Bristol with love. Your Rattlers win by 20. This has been a presentation of St. Mary's Rattler Athletics live on Ustream. We thank you for watching.
You're watching Rattlers Live.